Hi guys! Welcome to my channel. And as you can see, I am currently streaming with like a viewer. So today we'll be doing a Davinci Resolve tutorial based on a viewer that suggested I make a tutorial. And this is the guy. First things first, find a song. I have a friend that suggested a song. I'll leave his links in the description. What you want to do first is find the beat to the song, because obviously you're gonna want to sync the clip. And I'm gonna turn off my face cam. So first we're gonna listen to the song. We're gonna mark the beats. Okay, so for now, I think I'll just leave it off like this. I'm gonna do a loop, so the tutorial isn't that hard. Second thing you want to do is find a clip. I have a clip saved here. So what you're gonna want to do, make sure the audio is synced, make sure everything is fine. And you're gonna find the second you get the kill and mark it. And for some stuff, I'm gonna like mark the right click the second I right click. So obviously, if you look here, it's not marked properly. So what you're gonna want to do, there's something on Davinci Resolve called Retime control. And before like you do anything, I'd suggest putting optical flow on and retime and scaling. Again, go to video, scroll down, and right here. I suggest it because let's say you slow it down right here. Slow it down, it looks really smooth. But like let's say you just put like project settings. It's just blurry. It's not like blurry but stuttery. And you don't want that. So we don't want this. We want kill knife. Kill knife. So we have the first kill synced up. Now we want the second kill synced up. So what we can do, we press this little arrow and we add the speed point. We can add it on any point, but it's gonna take some trial and error to find a point that like looks nice. Then you're gonna want to go to the second kill and add a speed point. And then you go to the beat that you marked earlier, and then you put it all the way here. Obviously it's not gonna look nice because of the way I put it. So what I recommend is you go back here, and I suggest instead of putting it directly on the kill, you put it like maybe 2 or 3 frames behind. I'll do like 3 frames. And the reason that is because it's gonna look really scuffed, and we already saw that. We already saw what it looked like before. So what we can do is like go 1 2 3, maybe put it here. It's gonna take a lot of trial and error, and again, I'm not a pro editor. I'm only doing this because it was requested. It's not gonna look nice in the beginning, but we'll make it look nice, so don't worry about it. Now we want the knife here. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. Look for a point that looks nice. Right here is like, obviously we marked it, but because we stretched it out a bit, or not stretched it out, we shortened it a bit, it's not gonna be in the right spot, so we're gonna have to find it again, unfortunately. And now what we want to do, we want to add some impact to the kills. Before we do that though, I want to add something. You don't need to do this, but if we want to make it look nice, we can. We go back, and then we slow it right here. 1 2. And how I do this in order to slow, you can add a speed point and then like go 1 2 3 or 1 2. As long as you slow it, it should be fine. So 1 2, I go 2 frames ahead, and it's slowed. Before anything else, I want to teach you guys some graphing. You want to exit speed change, and then there's a little symbol right here. Once you're in this graph, press this arrow, and then retime speed. That's what we just used. So as you can see, this is the graph. This is what we sped up, and then boom. And if you want to make a slow look natural, or like just look nice in general, what you can do is press this dot and then press this. What this does is just a curve in. You can edit it to your liking, but to me, I'll just leave it at default. So once you do both of the points, it should like enter and exit smoothly. It should be fine. Now, here's where stuff gets interesting. Oh my god. We're gonna add some beat shake to it. So we're gonna go to toolbox right here. We're gonna go to the search bar and search up adjustment clip. It should be right here. But if you drag it in and then you hover over it, like select it, you can right click and do open in Fusion page. if you look at it, it's like all of these frames that's really unneeded. So what you want to do is hold it and drag it into the media pool. So we can delete this and then drag this back. Then now it's from 0 to 290 or whatever the duration the adjustment clip is. So what we're gonna do is add some shake. Personally, I use a beat shake preset because I'm too lazy to make my own. So what we can do, we shorten the adjustment clip, make sure it's at 0 frames or just to your liking. Make it to whatever length, and then here I have something called Peach Beat Shakes, and I'll leave all of his stuff down in the description, so you don't need to like go searching for it. You can just click the description. So what happens to me when I use it, sometimes it can be like really weird. All you have to do is just like stretch it out to your liking. So as you can see, it's like just a small thing. Usually what you want is the adjustment clip to start on 0 or like -1, because the adjustment clip is just not going to read that. So make sure it starts on 0 or -1. I'm going to make it start at -1. And boom. Of course, you can go a bit so like it's more impactful. And then you could just copy and paste it. At least that's what I do. And then you're just going to like paste it on each like shake. On each beat. Now it looks pretty nice. And obviously, if you make some mistakes, you can always edit it here. So what I did, I made a really like weird mistake. The kill should be here, so I can just like shorten it a little bit. Should be fine, but yeah, that's pretty good now. And then what I'm gonna do, because it's a tutorial, I'm just gonna loop it. So this is what we have so far. But now we want some impact, because if we look at it, obviously it looks cool. It looks pretty cool, right? If we do this, but just like it needs something. So first we're gonna like disable, and we're gonna import a clip here. We'll use this as an example. So we can drag our adjustment clip back, and obviously we want on a timeline that's activated. So we're gonna drag our adjustment clip back. And once we go into Fusion, you do Shift plus spacebar, and this should pop up. You're gonna search up XF for transform, and this is the one we want. So now that we have it, you're gonna end up with this. It can do that, it can do this, the size. What we can do is use this to add some impact. So it zooms in on the kill, it zooms in on the kill, it zooms out on the other one, and then it zooms in onto the knife. So I'm going to teach you guys some like basic graphing. So what you're going to want to do, we're going to have to do some keyframing. So let's say we want to like zoom in on the knife, like right here. We're going to want to tick the size and center X and Y. Make sure it's on the 0. It's on 0. It's on the 0 frame. And then we can go like, or let's say 40 frames. We're going to tick that again, but now we're going to put the size at a like nice range. Let's say 1.51, and then we're gonna wanna adjust the X and Y to your liking to where it shows off the knife. So once you do that, it shows this, right? But like it's kind of slow, so that's where the graph comes in. So you're just probably just gonna end up with this, but at the top there's spline. Press that, and you're gonna end up with this. So this is the size, top one, and this is the center. It might get confusing at some points, but it'll be all good. So what I do, I usually want like the zoom in to come in fast, but because the right click is like, it starts all the way at the end frame, like right here, I want it to like impact at the end. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag this one, this endpoint, to the end right here, and I'm gonna drag this one all the way here. So like you can see like the size just like slowly, but then you see this part, because that we have to do it to the X as well, and you want to do like the same pattern so it doesn't cut off. So let's do that right now. And if you wanted to do it at the beginning of the clip, what you can do, let's undo this all real quick, and then you want to do it at the beginning. So right here and right here. So now the zoom in just goes in fast. We can do the same right here to the X and Y. And yeah. Now we have the basics down. What we can do is also add that onto our clip that we have here. So what we can do is get our adjustment clip. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna disable the video track so it doesn't mess up our footage when we're using an adjustment clip. You're gonna go into Fusion. We're gonna do the same thing again. But now what I do is for our beat mark, so I mark size and center X and Y at the 0 frame, and I go to the second. But before I go to the second, I mark like two or 1 frame before the marker, and then I mark this, and then I'm gonna zoom in on the kill. So the kill was right here. I'm gonna zoom in there. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect. It's all trial and error though, so don't worry. That should be fine. So now you should end up with this. And then now the clip here, we want it to zoom out on this kill here, so we can zoom in on our knife later on. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna mark these again on the marker, and then do the same thing here, 1 or 2, 1 to whatever frames, whatever you're comfortable with. Just do whatever. We'll say here, and we'll do the same. So it was on the left. We're gonna do the left here, but now zoom out. I'll zoom out here a bit so you can see. We're gonna zoom out. Now we're gonna go to the marker here, and then we're gonna mark these again, and then go to the end of the clip, or like a couple frames to the end of the clip, and point it towards the knife. Now you should end up with something like this. Something like that, but it's like, it looks really scuffed, as you can see. So what we're gonna do, the stuff that I just taught you earlier. So we're gonna start with size. Make sure you turn this off, like if you get confused and like accidentally mess with something there. We're gonna do the first 2 points here. We wanted to do it fast, so let's do this point. You should end up with something like this. And then now here, you want it fast again, but like as you see, it goes down, so you're just gonna do it like this instead. And then now we're gonna go back here. We wanted to do it fast again, so we're gonna put it up and like that. So now the size should be fast. Now we want to do center path. So again, we're gonna do the first 2. And just in case it messes with the other one, you can hold control just to be safe for each individual graph. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We wanted to do it fast. We wanted to do it fast. And we want to do it fast. And now if you want it to look even more cleaner, you can go right here, settings, motion blur, and like turn the quality up. I say like maybe 8, and the shutter angle like up a bit, maybe 280. And then because we're like rendering some motion blur, we can just do render cache smart and let everything load. Now we can add the beat shake again, so we can re-enable this. And if you don't like it, like let's say here, I feel like it zooms in a bit too much, so we can always fix that here by going to the end of the keyframe and then just readjusting it. Obviously we're gonna have to like graph it again because it reset, but that's fine, we can always do that. And we could just copy and paste it right here again. You should end up with that. Okay, what we have, so we're gonna compound this clip, and then we're gonna open in the Fusion page. So we're gonna go to the part where we want it. So what I'm gonna teach is dog vision or color correction. It's just like changing the hue of the colors. So right here, we want to like change like colors of this, of everything. So what we're gonna do is search up CC and there's color corrector. So we have this. So what I'm talking about is the hue like that. It just like changes colors. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna keyframe right here. And then we're just gonna keyframe all the way to the end. We could just do whatever. Honestly, this is all preference. You don't need to copy me. You can start however you like. It's pretty swaggy. It's like you should end up with this. Pretty cool. And yeah. Now what we can learn is color or masking. And one quick tip is that with adjustment clips or just anything in general, if something's on top and you open in the Fusion, it's gonna automatically open the stuff on top if you don't know. So what we can do is go to the circle here, right beside the Fusion page. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the part we want to mask. So let's say right here, we're gonna disable the shake so it doesn't disrupt our masking. We're also gonna disable the transform node just so it doesn't disrupt our masking process. So once you're here, make sure you're on the frame that you want to mask. You're gonna click the pen. If you end up here, just click right there. And then you're gonna wanna keyframe corrector and sizing. And so now here's the fun part. We're gonna mask. What we're gonna do is mask what we want to be masked. We're gonna wanna, let's move all of this up. So Alt and up arrow key. And then we are gonna we're gonna press hold Alt and left click the footage. We're gonna re-enable this. We're gonna do that. And then we're gonna mask the one on top. So now a pro tip in masking is you don't want to do a lot of dots like this, like be all like, you know, but like just do like the least amount of dots you can, because obviously when we keyframe, when it's gonna like fix all of everything, it's not gonna be as accurate, and we can always go back to each frame to fix everything. So what we can do is like do that. It's not gonna be precise, but it's all good because we can always go back to fix our mistakes. And once you have all of it masked, you can just do this and then boom. Now we're gonna click the tracker window. And obviously it looks terrible, but what we're gonna do is click this button right here. And it's gonna just track everything that's in its area. And obviously, see, this is what I was talking about. This is what it does. Like, it doesn't really properly track. So that's why we want like the least amount, so we can always go back and fix it. So now we're gonna manually fix everything. So now we can do this. Now everything is more fixed. And it doesn't take much effort as well. So it should be fine. And that's just like a few more dots. And now everything is much cleaner. And now it's also going to add on to the next clips, but now it looks like this. So what we're going to do is manually drag it. Like that. And you might have to do some readjustments as well. Okay, once you have everything masked, it should look like this. Everything is perfectly fine. Obviously, there's going to be some mess ups, but that should be fine. And if ever there is, you can always go back and like fix it up. So once you do that, make sure everything is keyframed so everything is saved. Make sure this is saved. So if you forgot, just add an alpha output, and then do this, and then make sure everything is saved. Once you have that, we're gonna go to the clip that we just masked, and we are gonna right click and new compound. Now what it's gonna do, you can see it on the screen here. We can just crop this all out, and then once let's say we disable this, this is what we end up with. So once we end up with that, what we can do is, let's say we can cut up this part. And there's two different kinds of stuff we can do, and I'll go over two of them. One, there's uni ecto, where if you just plop it on, it just adds a saber effect. Or what we can do is we can add something called a halftone, where it adds a background. So we add this to the clip that we cut below. This is what we get. So it adds a cool little background with dots. And if the sound is distorted like that, just note that it's because we use Retime and the video and the audio is linked. So it also slowed the audio. So if you don't want the audio afterwards, you can just delete it. Like that. And then you should end up with that. So now, if we play the music with all of our shakes and stuff, this is what we ended up with. Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have questions, feel free to DM me on Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll link everything in the description below that I have mentioned. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.